Yes guys, and welcome back guys to a brand new video guys on my channel guys. And yes guys, as you can see from the thumbnail and the title of this video guys, I'm going to be reacting to my 23-24 Premier League predictions guys. I apologise guys, this video's gone up sort of what we're on now, 10 weeks after the Premier League's finished. I've done this video earlier. I just wanted to take a bit of a break off YouTube at the time and then come back, and then videos up. Obviously my last video, the FA Cup one, it just gone up as well, so I apologise for that guys, but these videos I have a couple of more weeks off and then we'll be back at it for the 24-25 season. But anyway guys, let's get straight to today's video now. So I'm going to be starting from the relegation zone up to the top, and the first one is 20th. I predicted Luton Town. Now obviously it was not Luton Town, it was obviously Sheffield United. So yeah, I came close with this prediction actually, because I predicted Sheffield to come 19th, so I wasn't too far off this prediction. Sheffield United obviously had the worst defence in the league, 3 wins all season long, struggled all season long, getting battered 5-0s, 8-0s, far too inconsistent, shocking performances. Senior players were not doing it, players were doing miles better than the senior players as well. Obviously they sacked Paul Heckingbottom in December as well, and then got about 2 or 3 wins under Chris Wilder, and that was it. Sheffield, not good enough, really not good enough, an embarrassment. See you later, enjoy the championship next season. Coming 19th, I actually predicted Sheffield United, which I wasn't far off, but coming 19th I said Burnley. Now to be honest, I thought Burnley were going to finish higher up actually. I thought Burnley were going to have a good season, but no, obviously after with them winning the championship, just couldn't really take it into the Premier League, and I think they just really struggled to hit the ground running in the Premier League. Yet again, you know, they only had 5 wins all season long. I think it was always going to be tough for Vincent Kompany. It would have been good to keep Burnley up as well. It was far too inconsistent. Obviously you had some crucial wins that they needed as well. Some thought that would be able to stay up, one of them being me as well. Just didn't do enough, Burnley. I think obviously after the back of winning the championship the season before, maybe they could have took that to the Premier League, but you don't really take that going into the Premier League. And obviously the Premier League is completely different. The championship as well, fitness levels have to be up there as well, so they really set the bar and didn't really hit the standard where they should have been at. The season just gone. Enlo, I wish them the best of luck for next season in the championship. But 18th, I predicted Nottingham Forest. Yet again, I wasn't far off this prediction as well. In 18th, it was actually Luton Town. People, yet again, were predicting that Luton would be able to stay up as well. Didn't do enough. I think, 6 wins all season long. I think they sort of struggled in the first part of the season. You could tell that those players were not really fit, not really there at the Premier League standard yet again. I just don't think they were there to battle with the other teams in the first half of the season. Looked like they could have stayed up as well, sort of towards the end of the season. Second worst defence in the league as well. So I have to praise them of how good they were, obviously, to take the games to 6 as well. Gave United a good game at their place as well. Elite Newcastle, only just losing as well. Only just lost to United, only just lost to Chelsea as well. The big 6 had to get lucky against Luton. You could tell that the throne was going to be a tough place to go, and it was. To be honest though, United did well to go there and win, but I wish Luton Town all the best, and I hope they can come up for the following season as well. Coming 17th, I predicted Wolves. Now obviously it was not Wolves. Yeah, again, I was not far off this prediction. It was actually Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, see obviously happened in their season just gone. Away form was a little bit better from the season before. Season before that they were really poor away from home. Yet again though, inconsistent. They sacked Steve Cooper mid-season long as well, and then Nuno Espirito Santo came in. Obviously yet again they got dragged into a bit of a relegation fight as well to stay up as well. Just done enough to stay up, and all credit to Nottingham Forest, they did well to stay up. But I think goal difference saved them. I think if Luton Town would have maybe got one more win and they would have suffered another loss, they would have gone down as well. Nottingham Forest just couldn't really, struggled all season long, to be honest. They didn't really have that stability season long. But they did alright in the end. Forest, they stayed up and they did what they had to do. Coming 16th, I predicted Everton. Now, it was not Everton. Yet again, I was not far off this prediction as well. Coming 16th, it was actually Brentford. Now, obviously, Brentford didn't do that great last season, to be honest. I think they just struggled for form. I think they were just struggling for confidence and momentum all season long. Far too inconsistent. They suffered loads of injuries out. Lost Ivan Toney for the majority of the season. He was out for 8 months due to his betting ban. Again, though, they'd just done enough to stay up, Brentford. But then there was sort of Thomas Frank losing his job. He stuck with him, just had a bit of a bad season, a bit of a poor season. Obviously, Brentford in the first 2 seasons did really well. Was this season coming? Maybe with a third season that they were maybe got to go back to the Championship. Brentford, they did okay. They just done enough to stay up, and Tony probably just got them out of it a bit as well towards the end of the season. But Brentford had players that them playing up, did okay at the end. 15th, I predicted Bournemouth, but yet again, I was just not far off this prediction. 15th, it was Everton. I was going to say I predicted Everton to come 16th. Everton, yet again, but at times, season long, it wasn't great. At times to watch, wasn't convincing or promising to watch. He'd have a good run of games sort of at the back end of the season. Struggled to score goals the whole season long as well. Again, though, far too inconsistent. You didn't know what you were going to get out of them as well. Didn't know what to expect. Obviously, yet again, got dragged into a relegation fight. Yet again, got out of it because Everton know how to get out of it. Because the season before, they did it again. Everton did okay, but pressed the reset button again and say, look, try aim for bigger and better and higher next season. But that's all down to what the players can do at Everton as well. Going 14th, I predicted West Ham. Now, obviously, I got this prediction not right. Actually, Wolves. Wolves, I thought they did okay in the season. Obviously, having Gary O'Neill as their manager. Did okay. Got a few big wins under the belts. But again, a bit like Everton, but I think it wasn't great to watch. Know what to expect at times. But did have a good run of games. They gave Gary O'Neill a new deal as well to stay at the club. But they were inconsistent at times, and I think it was just sort of one of them. A bit of a mixed season for Wolves. Wasn't great. Got there in the end, and I thought Wolves did okay. It's interesting that Wolves did okay, and obviously gave United a good old game. But they did okay, Wolves. They did okay at the end of the day. Coming 13th, I predicted Burnley. Now, obviously, I got this prediction massively wrong. Coming 13th, it was actually Fulham. But yet again, though, I wasn't far off that prediction as well with Fulham. I thought they did okay. They were inconsistent at times. Again, very mixed, very up and down. Didn't know what to expect from them. Struggled for confidence here and there. Sort of doing a bit better. The stats were getting better a little bit as well. Munoz scoring goals as well. A difficult start. Fulham getting injured and then recovered from his injury and then came back with a bang. I don't know what his goals were. He did well. It was like Hoyland. As soon as he got his first goal, was growing in confidence, scoring more goals, was coming for Fulham. But I thought they did okay at times. Fulham, I think it was just one of them. Bit of a mixed season for Fulham. Did they improve from the season before? Maybe. At the end of the day, Fulham they did okay. Marco Silva isn't a stupid manager. He knows what he's doing. Did well in the end, Fulham. Coming 12th, I predicted Crystal Palace. Now, obviously, I wasn't far off this prediction as well. Obviously, coming 12th was not Crystal Palace. It was obviously Bournemouth. I thought Bournemouth did okay as well. They had a good season under Dean Raiola. Again, I think they were like Luton, sort of struggled in the first part of the season. I think it's going to take time for them to implement the new style of play. It was always going to take time. It wasn't going to take overnight. When you get in a new manager, new tactics, new ideas, it takes time. You have to give the manager time. Again, though, there's struggle for the first part of the season. But the stats improved. It got better along the way. Growing in confidence, growing in a lot of momentum as well. Got some big results, some big wins. They've been performing really well at the back end of the season. Like at one stage, if Bournemouth kept it going, they could have pushed on and maybe caused a bit of a threat as well. Okay, Bournemouth all season long. I think they've got a good future there with Dean Raiola as well. In 11th, it was Fulham. Yeah, like I just said then. In 11th, it was Brighton. They didn't really have a great season, to be honest with you. Europa League was a distraction. I think playing every 3 days really caught up to them. They didn't really have that squad depth, and it didn't really help that they had loads of injuries as well. Again, though, they were just far too inconsistent. It caught up to them at the end of the day, and that's why I thought they knew that they were going to dropped down a couple of places. Just didn't have a squad depth. Brighton struggled and they huffed and puffed. At the end of the season, they confirmed before on the last game of the season that they were going to part ways with De Zerbi. I fully understand why they've got rid of him. They want a new manager. But De Zerbi is right at Brighton. He obviously did well in the first season. Probably just didn't have a great second season with him. Did okay. Not enjoying the downfall, but I knew that they were going to definitely drop a couple of places after qualifying for Europa League, slipping a little bit. The season just gone. End of the day, did okay. In 10th, I predicted Brentford. Obviously, I got that massively wrong. It was not Brentford. It was obviously Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace did okay. Yet again, I think it wasn't great at times. It was rough for them. I think it was a roller coaster. I think the football wasn't convincing or promising. We were getting really frustrated with the players. Hudson sort of struggled. Israel there couldn't really get the best out of the players. He needed them as well. Hodgson got sacked as well. Oliver Gleisner comes in. March time came and it took time for him to settle as well at Crystal Palace. It's not an overnight thing. So you have to give these managers time when they first come in. Doesn't get the results at at the beginning, but getting the results, and then the results were coming in, pulling in some really good performances, beating Liverpool, beating Man United, took them time to implement a new style of play, and it always does. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to be given time. They had a strong end to the season. So well done to Crystal Palace. They did well at the end of the day. Fair play to them. It looks bright for sure. Coming ninth, I predicted Brighton. Obviously, Brighton finished 11th. Coming ninth, it was West Ham. West Ham sort of struggled this season as well. I think they have a great season. They were in Europa League, and maybe that was a distraction for them. They were far too inconsistent. You didn't have the squad depth. They just struggled to play every 3 days. It caught up with them. Before we did have a good run of games, West Ham. I think I can remember that. I tried to offer David Moyes a new contract, and they couldn't really agree to it because then the results were not coming in at West Ham. After that, the contract for David Moyes pretty much stalled. Had to part ways with David Moyes. West Ham, they did okay. Europa League was just a bit of a distraction, but new manager coming in now season. So let's see what happens at West Ham next season. Coming 8th, I predicted Newcastle. I was not far off this prediction yet again, but coming 8th, it was my team, Manchester United. We had pretty much our worst season. We've never finished 8th before. Worst season. Had to be consistent yet again. I've said with other teams as well. And loads of injuries. I think we had about 55 players out, for the most that suffered with it last season as well. Football was just not convincing, not promising at times, like you've seen many a time on my channel. Most of the performances were not good enough. Getting some luck as well along the way. Had to ride that season out at the end of the day. We just had to work it up the way how it went, the style of play that we wanted to see. Like everyone was saying, hoofball, it is what it is, rough season, but we'll bounce back from it next season for sure. But the FA Cup was massive, it was crucial for Manchester United. Won the FA Cup, which I'm absolutely buzzing about, we won it. Probably kept Ten Hag's job as well, right decision for Ineos to keep Ten Hag in as well. Deserves another season to prove himself as well. The players that he needs, Ineos, their time. Get the right recruitment in the summer, go out there and let's definitely our doubters wrong yet again next season for sure. 7th, I predicted Aston Villa. It was obviously not Aston Villa. It was actually Newcastle. Yet again, though, wasn't far off that prediction. Newcastle, alright season. 1-5 for Champions League. Champions League was a distraction. Again, though, they were another team that suffered a lot of injuries at the season as well. The other teams, consistent. They did have a string of results. Coming in Newcastle, we did okay at the end of the day. Didn't really have the squad depth at the time and really struggled at the time. They hung in there to dig deep at times. They've got some very good players in that squad. Got some good bunch of players there, got the quality. I thought they did alright. Newcastle at the end of the day, and press the reset button, go again. 1 game a week now for Newcastle next season. Coming 6th, I predicted Tottenham. Now, obviously, it was not Tottenham. This position's round actually. Coming 6th, it was actually Chelsea. I think it was frustrating for Manchester United because Chelsea were one of those seasons where they had Mauricio Pochettino in, managed to finish above Manchester United. When I looked at that Chelsea team when you were watching them last season, just simply not good enough. Chelsea, ups and downs along the road, on a roller coaster. Did okay at the end of the day. In the last 6 or 7 games in a running, they were inconsistent. They had their injuries to deal with as well, and they'd obviously qualified for the Conference League as well for next season. And Chelsea, they did okay. Very disappointing for as a United fans to see Chelsea above us, because miles better than Chelsea last season I thought, and it's above us I thought was embarrassing, because I think Chelsea were a crap team last season, and I think they just a very good running. United were not good enough. We had the easier running on Tottenham and Aston Villa, and we couldn't capitalise. Chelsea capitalised towards the end of the season, had a good running, and they did what they had to do. The day they did well, Chelsea. Now coming into the top 5 now. Coming 5th, I predicted Chelsea, but like I said, all those teams around coming 5th, it was Tottenham. Tottenham, I thought they had an okay season, improved from the season before. Start of the season, they lost Harry Kane, so they had to deal with life without Harry Kane. They did well. They brought in some very good players at the time. James Maddison, brought in Timo Werner as well. Threw in a couple of good old players, the likes of Kulusevski. They had a good bunch of lads there that were doing well. Brennan Johnson as well. I knew that where the goals were coming from. They did by striker for Harry Kane as well, definitely, which they obviously had to, but because Spursy running was not good enough as well. Lucky at times, and their luck at times, Spurs as well, but obviously they're by for the Europa League next season as well. They did okay. Tottenham, I think it was great at times. Don't think the football was great to watch at times. At the end of the day, they did what they had to do, Tottenham. They did well. Into the top four now. Fourth, I predicted Arsenal. Going fourth, it was actually Aston Villa. Now, obviously, Aston Villa had a fantastic season all round. As soon as Unai Emery came in, the back end of the season before, knew that we're going to obviously do well this season. Long, fantastic season. The fight for Champions League, first time in like 41 years. So Emery deserves the credit, to be honest. The football that they played was fantastic to watch. United did the double on them last season as well. Every tactical change where they needed to change it, Unai Emery got it absolutely spot on. Fair play to Aston Villa. They did well last season. They did brilliantly well. Give the credit all they get. And get top four, they got it as well, and they earned it as well. They ran the socks off in every single game. What they deserved in every single game. They deserved to get top four. Well done to them at the end of the day. Going third, I predicted Liverpool. Coming third, it was Liverpool. So this is the first one that I've got bang on right. I knew that Liverpool were going to finish third. I knew that they'd get top four yet again. I thought United would have been in there as well. They were in the fight for the title as well. Obviously, they won the Carabao Cup. Jurgen Klopp had announced late January that he was leaving, so they wanted to go out with a bang as well. But still in January, though, they were in a title race. I think the two United games that really got to them mentally, what I mean by that, the Premier League game, they suffered that 2-2 and obviously 4-3 loss in the FA Cup as well. It really got them mentally, and it couldn't really get them going again. It just really got to them mentally, and they just couldn't really focus on the upcoming games. And then obviously then they lost to Crystal Palace, couldn't really focus on the last part of the season. That's it then for Liverpool. The title was done for them. Hold their heads up high and say, yeah, we were not good enough and didn't do enough at the end of the day. They did okay at the end of the day, Liverpool. When second, I predicted Manchester United. I got this massively wrong. Coming second, it was obviously Arsenal. Was not far off that prediction. I thought Arsenal had an incredible season, pushed Man City all the way for the title. Had the best defence in the league as well. You would have thought it would have been Man City. Arsenal had an incredible season all along as well. Went wrong for them when they played Villa at home and they lost. It was 2-0 as well. For Arsenal, incredible season all round. Arteta did really well last season. Give Man City the fight, did incredibly well. Football that they played, fantastic. There was a change in mentality. I think that was due to signing Declan Rice in the summer as well for, it was 105 million. So he really transformed the Arsenal team, get them into that position of fighting for the title with Man City. They've got to regroup, go again for next season as well. Obviously, no trophies yet again. I think it'll have to come to a point in the season where if Arsenal don't win trophies next season, I think they will have to pull Mikel Arteta and say it's about trophies now, mate, because we need to start winning trophies. It's nice being in title races, but it's all about trophies now. It's all about getting over the line and winning these trophies. At the end of the day, let's see what happens with Arsenal. Let's see if they can push City to see if they can do it next season. If not, it's just going to be one of those seasons again for Arsenal next year. But Arsenal, incredible season all along. It was gone once they lost to Villa at home. They did well, and the heads up high, and so we'll give it a good go next year. They did well last night at the end of the day. First, obviously, it was Man City. Man City absolutely nailed it. I predicted Man City to come first, and they won the league as well. Deserved champions, won the last 9 games, probably had the toughest season yet. Guardiola even said that as well. Arsenal pushed them all the way as well, to the end as well, from the first game to the last game, and it was always twists and turns in it along the way. Arsenal were going first, City were going to second, and it was past the parcel, always going to be twists and turns in it. And City, worthy champions, brilliant all season. All season they had to dig deep, and City, they had their runs where just unbeatable and did that a league and deserved champions at the end of the day. They lost the FA Cup final to United as well, which they'll be busily disappointed about it. They would have been able to do the domestic double as well, but they couldn't really capitalize on that. They couldn't really do it at the end of the day. Well done to City, won the league, deserved champions. They did well all season round. Well, last season, they've done it 4 times in a row or 5 times in a row or whatever it is now, what they've done now, City. Double achievement. No team's done it before. Well done to Man City. Pep Guardiola is the man. If you guys enjoyed another video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you want to know. I'll see you guys when the next season starts, and peace.